Hello, and welcome back to the Clone Wars Chronicles. Last episode, the Separatists besieged the planet Hebeker Minor, Windu and his Jedi team stopped the Separatist operation on Hishrik, and Jedi Padawan Anakin Skywalker and Senator Padme Amidala secretly got married on Naboo. The planet Camino, due to the production and training of the clone troopers, was vital to the Republic war effort. The Jedi Council decided it would be best to station a Jedi on Camino to oversee operations there. Jedi Master and Council member Shak Ti was assigned to this position. Master Ti was to supervise the training of the clone troopers so that they were ready for combat. In order to help her do this, the Republic contracted 2 bounty hunters to help train the clones, as Jango was no longer alive to do so. One of these bounty hunters, Master Chief Brick, was impatient and was hard on the clone he was training, while his partner L.A. Les was more caring and compassionate, resulting in Shak Ti having to often mediate between the two. Shak Ti also often disagreed with the Kaminoans and their cold approach to the clone troopers, seeing them as property rather than people. Arguably, Shak Ti's most important job on Camino was organising the security and the massive blockade in space. As the general in charge, she organised this orbital blockade and the local garrison of clone troopers. Camino quickly became one of the most heavily defended planets in the galaxy due to its importance to the Republic war effort. Elsewhere, the Confederacy launched an attack on the planet Langston. The planet was targeted for its natural resources, especially Nyx metal, which could be mined from the planet's mountains. It was used to create Nyx alloy, which was then used in starship hulls. As the Republic was scrambling to build a large navy to compete with the Confederate Navy, it was paramount that the Republic was able to hold the planet. The clone forces were able to repel the Separatist invaders. However, the world's infrastructure was devastated, and the locals were left without homes and vital services. The Republic would be able to continue its shipbuilding uninterrupted, but at a great cost to the civilian population of Langston. While the Confederacy were defeated at the Battle of Langston, they were successful on the 4th moon of Paran. General Grievous led the Confederate forces personally, killing many clone troopers. For the first time in the war, Grievous's bodyguards, the IG-100 Magna Guards, were deployed in combat. Grievous had trained the droids personally, and they were among the few battle droids models that Grievous actually trusted in combat. During the battle, a Magna Guard engaged the Jedi General Sanin, who was in charge of all Republic forces on the moon. Using the Magna Guard's signature weapon, the Electrostaff, the droid killed the Jedi by stabbing him through the throat. The Magna Guard's performance on Paran 2 would soon earn them a reputation as Jedi killers, and they would become one of the most feared battle droid units in the Separatist army. Grievous would continue to use the Magna Guards and would incorporate them into his battle tactics, using them to surround and weaken Jedi when he dueled them. Dooku himself would then use the battle droids as bodyguards when he travelled on missions. Far away from the front lines, Bail Organa received a transmission from a third-party company that had been supplying both sides of the war, asking for a secret meeting with the Senator without the interference of the Jedi. As Bail was busy on Coruscant, he mentioned the meeting to Padme, who would come up with the idea she would go to the meeting, while her former handmaiden Sabe would take her place in the Senate. Padme and her captain of security, Gregor Typho, went undercover on a supply ship, heading towards Hebeker Minor, a world that was currently under siege by the Separatists. When Padme arrived, she met the magistrate of Hebeker, who told her granddaughter and other family members had been kidnapped by the Separatists to force the magistrate to order a surrender. After hearing this, Padme decided to launch a raid to rescue the magistrate's family. The Jedi in charge of Hebeker Minor's defences, Jedi Master Savad and Clone Commander Styx, gave Padme a group of clones to aid her and Typho on their mission. The raid was a success, and the magistrate's family were rescued. During the raid, the droids' primary charging spots were destroyed. Commander Styx estimated that without being able to recharge the droids, they would only be able to fight for another week, after which they would be forced to pull back. Following the raid, Padme was finally able to talk with the mysterious contact, who was revealed to be Auger Deneb, a member of the Trade Federation. Following the Battle of Naboo 10 years earlier, Auger felt that Gunray had been ruining the Trade Federation's reputation, and wanted him removed from power. Auger's plan to do this was firstly to become the centre for the Federation, replacing Lord Dot. When Padme returned to Coruscant, she had a meeting with Senators Organa, Mothma, and Chancellor Palpatine. Both Organa and Mothma were eager to help Auger, while Palpatine urged caution in dealing with a member of the Trade Federation. After the meeting was done, Palpatine, who was secretly Darth Sidious, contacted both Dooku and Gunray to inform them of the traitor in the Trade Federation and to have him removed to not ruin his plans. While his wife was busy on Rebecca Minor, Anakin had joined the front lines, serving as a Jedi Commander, alongside his master Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi and Clone Commander CC-2224, or Cody, as known by his clone brothers. Kenobi and Skywalker's forces had just finished a short campaign in rocky terrain. The Republic were victorious in the campaign, but it was what happened afterwards Anakin would remember the most. Anakin talked to the clone trooper known as Sister, as she buried her fallen clone brothers, leaving the clones' helmets above ground, the only markers for the fallen soldiers. Sister explained to him that because the clone troopers' helmets took over a decade to degrade, that anyone who passed by would know that clones had fought here and died. In his first battle alongside the clones, Anakin learned that they were not like their droid enemies, and that they were all unique with their own personalities. This experience would shape him going forward. On Coruscant, Proset Dibs was brought before the Jedi Council to stand trial for betraying his team and attacking Windu on Hishrik. Dibs defended his actions, claiming that the Jedi and the Council had lost their way for participating in the Clone Wars. Dibs was found guilty of treason by the Council. Proset Dibs then expected to be executed for his treason during wartime, but Mace Windu spoke up on his behalf, saying that it was the Council's duty to help Jedi return towards the light. Windu suggested that Dibs be sentenced to probation and confined to work in the Jedi archives and not allowed to leave the temple. The Council agreed to this sentencing. Windu would later confide in Mano that he was concerned that Dibs had lost his way, and how many other Jedi might lose their way because of the Clone Wars. And that's where we will end this episode of the Clone Wars Chronicles, with action on Langston, Rebecca Minor, and Parran 2, Anakin Grievous joining the front lines, and a Jedi traitor being brought before the Council. By now the war has spread to all corners of the galaxy, with neither side being able to gain a quick victory. Where will the war go next? Watch the next episode of the Clone Wars Chronicles to find out. Subscribe to Battle by Battle to see the next chapter of the Clone Wars Chronicles. May the Force be with you.